If you are experiencing foundation issues, get a free estimate from Ox Foundations.
Military veteran Ed Jenkins joins us this morning for a few minutes. And Ed, good morning and Happy New Year.
Good morning to you, Jimmy Dale, and Happy New Year.
Did you eat any black-eyed peas for...
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
What about cornbread? You eating the cornbread?
Yes, sir.
How's your health, Ed?
Great. A little small story right quick about that. I'm riding up the road, I had the cancer and took the treatment. Called me and said, no trace of cancer, liver's fine, lungs fine, heart's fine, thyroid's fine. He said, all you got is just a little knee problem.
You can live with that, can't you?
Yeah.
I know you're saddened by the announcement this morning of our friend Frenchie Floyd.
Yes, greatly saddened, wonderful family. He was a wonderful man, and the whole family, great people, Jimmy Dale.
Yeah, we continue to pray for them this morning, and Frenchie has been placed in palliative care at UAB in Birmingham, and they will do whatever they need to do to keep the pain alleviated. And Frenchie, the Floyd family has been in this area for many years. Hey, Brother Ed, what's happening with our veterans in 2021? You think it's going to be a better year?
I hope it will be. It's supposed to be. Here's the thing with our veterans and our people of Social Security. Let's don't wait. After 90 days and the doctor pronounce you that you're disabled, you file then. You do not wait. Okay, several cases we've had lately, and I don't know how this came about, but if we know this in time and the veteran does not have enough insurance or this and that and the other for bear, we can have our veterans group and organization raise the money. But we have to know about 4 or 5 days in advance.
Yeah.
And we've had several of them lately.
A number of veterans here in our local area, and I know here in Sylacauga, the Vietnam veterans, they've been having this breakfast every Tuesday. That's kind of shut down for a little while?
That's shut down right now due to the virus. Jim Dale, the commander up there, Mr. Hall, I think, had the virus. And, we don't want to get anybody sick or anybody else sick, but he's doing fine. He's getting better, and he's going to get well. So.
What about at the Bill Nichols Veterans Home?
As far as I know, we're holding our own there. I don't know of any new cases we've had lately. I think we're holding our own down there, and I think everything's looking up. Also in the Pale City area, I think in our nursing homes right now doing well.
Mm-hmm. Ed, from the outside looking in, talk a little bit about the presidential election is over with. We have a president-elect in Mr. Biden. Is this going to be affecting our Social Security or our veterans that you can see?
That's a wait-and-see situation, Jimmy Dale. It's not supposed to, okay? But you never know. It's the reason I encourage people not. Now, that will not affect your veterans. That will not affect their pension or whatever they're getting. It will not affect that. Social Security, we don't know yet. But the thing about it is, I encourage people to try to have, as they go along, talk to people like Mark Deason and the people about their financial people so that we won't come into a financial crisis. Because now, we're not above hitting a financial crisis.
That is true. That is true. As far as Ed Jenkins is concerned, what are your plans for 2021?
My plans has always been to help all veterans and Social Security people that's in need and this and that and the other. That's what I have studied for the last several years. Well, actually, ever since '92. A lot of them need assistance very quickly. At one time, we had Miss McBride was in Washington. We could get it real quick. Now, under Mike Rogers, things are getting better. We have a lady in Anniston that does Social Security and one that does VA. Now, we had an incident where the man did not have no insurance, could not see a doctor, and the lady over Social Security in Rogers' office got him to a doctor. And I think in about 5 months, maybe, that he passed away, but he was able to draw that check. And the day of the funeral, she said, I really thank you. I said, well, we just thank God together. I don't want any thanks. I want him to have all the thanks.
It's amazing the red tape and the hoops you have to jump through for our veterans and Social Security.
Oh, this is awful. Because, see, okay, they send you to the best doctors in the world to start with, okay? And they've done made their judgment. Then you have to go through all the paperwork. The paperwork is what's aggravating. You fill out the paperwork, they send it back, you fill it out, they send it back, and then sometimes we have paperwork, have to send them 5 different times.
And it can take so long.
Yes, it does. We have a man on the north end of the county whom I serve with. They have got him going to Birmingham, and they didn't tell him where to go, just Birmingham. Well, you see, that's red tape.
Oh, goodness. Birmingham's a big town.
Yeah, so that's red tape. We have our people from the Disabled American Veterans working on that at this time. So,
what are some of the most asked questions that come to you for veterans and Social Security?
The biggest question asked, when did this happen? And what doctor did this, what doctor said this, and that and the other. And this is why I call it a joke, because it's already in the line and the paperwork is already set. But we have found over the years that the paperwork and all this makes it hard for veterans and Social Security.
A lot of people, Ed, especially seniors, living off Social Security, and it's got to be difficult.
It's very difficult, Jim. Now, back in, say, your mother, they worked for little or nothing.
Yep.
And raised a family. We done well. We're still living. But this is the whole thing in a nutshell. They paid into the Social Security. Everybody did. But back a few years back, according to the history of it, there was a little pie they borrowed from Social Security, and so it made it hard there. And also from the veterans' standpoint of view, I don't think senior citizens and people with disabilities should have any trouble with their Social Security or their veteran benefits when it's already been that. But then we have people that if they didn't have a little bit saved back, a few people helping them, they'd be in trouble because it takes a long time for this.
And to start the ball rolling on Social Security, you have to make an appointment. You just can't walk up and say, hey.
Unless you see me. But there's no use of seeing about your Social Security if you hadn't had that disability for at least 90 days. Mm-hmm. Or you had that disability and you're having trouble, say you can't see a doctor or this and then, see me. And we'll put you in the right direction.
Mm-hmm. Where can they see you?
256-786-1622, and we'll tell them where.
Okay. And
now, we have people that, most of the time on Tuesday, we're down at the office here.
Right, down at the county building.
County building.
Yeah. And will you be there today?
Be there for a while today.
Okay. Now, what about the clinic in Childersburg for veterans?
The clinic in Childersburg now, you have to make an appointment at this time, and when you make an appointment, you have to have symptoms of some kind of sickness. So far, we've had wonderful success up there with our people making appointments when they are puny or something, not having any problems. And if you do, call Roger's office, 256-236-5655, and ask for Miss Margaret Smith. And I got to hand it to them. They're very concerned about the veterans' health. And then you call that same number about Social Security. If you're having trouble after 90 days and the paperwork lingers on 6 months, and see if they can't help you.
Yeah. Veterans in this local community, we've got a lot of them, don't we? Yeah?
Yes, we do. We have our share and then some. Some years ago, people, just really hated vets, especially Vietnam vets. But that has been
Which you're one.
Yeah, but that's been in the past. Now they recognize because our Veteran Service Organization, the DAV, American Legion, the VFW, the Purple Heart, we all came together as one and let them know that a vet's a vet. We have people getting hurt now in Afghanistan, been people hurt in Iraq, and we try to get them help quicker than we got help.
When it comes to this country, the American flag, the national anthem, we see a lot of this going away. We see the American flag being trampled, being burned. We see the national anthem is foregone a lot of times at events. As a veteran, what do you think about that?
It's terrible. As a veteran, we think it's terrible, and all of our service organizations do. And anybody burning our flag ought to be prosecuted immediately.
But you know that's a protected right.
Yeah, that is a protected right now. It should have.
Doesn't mean it is right.
No, it is not right. But just about everything now, would it be mostly it's wrong to have a protective right. Back in the day, who in the world would ever thought about defunding our
law enforcement?
Or our fire department. All that works together in there. I meant to bring it this morning, but I forgot it on December the 9th, before Veterans Day. I wrote an article with a local paper in Atlantic City about law enforcement, how we appreciate first responders, doctors, nurses, and all that. They wanted a war story, but I don't do that. If somebody wants to talk to me privately about the things and how it was, we may do that. But as far as keeping lingering on, it's over now. I support our troops that we have now too, Jimmy Dale, by the way. And this, let me urge everybody to please support your local law enforcement and your first responders, your hospital staff, your doctors and nurses. I think Sylacauga has been blessed with having, the thing where you drive in and have prayer. And I know they appreciate it. I noticed this morning we have in Rise in Tallapoosa County, in Dadeville and Russell. And notice also, I don't know if we have a Rise here or not. I probably do. But the thing about it is, we got to keep pushing. Now, here's one thing about the virus. If you catch this stuff in time, have it treated and stay away from everybody else and stay quarantined, because we don't want everybody to get this.
We see a lot of veterans that's been affected by this. A lot of veterans have died.
Yes. And then there was no World War II man, 101 years old, survived.
Wow.
So
it's amazing, isn't it?
It's amazing. And we have, young people don't think sometimes that they can have it, just don't have no pity. And it don't, it hits where it may.
Yeah. Before we go this morning, you recently had a death in your family.
Yes, nephew. He had a brain tumor, but he had a house fire, and he didn't get out. So we working up there cleaning up the lot and everything, Jimmy Dale, and we had the funeral. I had the funeral up there. They'd already paid for it, and so it's just one of those things, and you just have to keep looking up. And let me say this: I really appreciate you, the sponsor of this TV station, and our local funeral home people here, because they go out of their way to help people. Nice. Every one of you, and I do mean that, because many times we get a call to see if we can help them, just like the other day when you called.
Yeah.
We might have, but you have to know those things in advance.
Yeah.
And we encourage family with veterans, be sure, let it be known that when they come in, or as soon as they notice death or something has been, and they don't have enough insurance or this and that and other, let it be known so we can get the word out.
All right. Ed, appreciate you dropping by this morning. If people need to get in touch with you about anything with veterans or Social Security, that number again?
256-786-1622, Jim and Dale, and we'll be glad to help them.
All right, stay still. We'll be back right after this time out on Daybreak Live.